Hello, Blizzard fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between Moxie and Arthur on Fighting Spirit. This is a Starbow replay. Recently I cast a Saturday Starbow tournament. It was a lot of fun, so I'll be casting a lot more Starbow, and hopefully I'll be casting another tournament in a couple of weeks. Stay tuned to my Twitter and Facebook feed to see when I'm doing that. It's just /FalconPaladin on Twitter and Facebook. Very easy to remember. And without further ado, let's introduce the players. In the bottom left of Starbow's Fighting Spirit map, this is the blue Terran player, Moxie, representing BFFFFF. It's like best friends forever for fire. I ran out of F words there. Anyone wins that I can say in my channel anyway. And in the bottom right, we have the Protoss player sporting the color red. It is Arthur, representing Ever. So it's a PvT on this map. I don't know if I've actually cast this matchup before. I've done ZVP and ZVZ and ZVT, but I can't remember doing a TVP, so this is pretty exciting. I know a lot of people have complained that Protoss is a little underpowered in the current iteration of Starbow, so I have to imagine that maybe the Terran player has a bit of an upper hand here, but I don't know the relative skill levels of these players. So maybe Arthur is incredible, and maybe he can actually make Protoss work in this particular matchup. This isn't a tournament or anything, I don't think, so just two people playing against each other. It was submitted as part of a pack from Ziphius. He sent me a bunch of games from Starbow. He is the creator of the game, a really nice guy. We have a lot in common. I'm really glad that I've gotten to know him. He's the one that invited me to cast that tournament just a few days ago. So thanks again to him. That was a really fun experience. I'd like to do it again, and I think I will have the chance to do so. Meanwhile, back in Starbow land, we have a factory coming up after the barracks. So let's see, what factory units are good against Protoss, do we think? Vultures, pretty good. Again, they're just harassing units. They can actually shoot while moving, which is nice. I don't think that was a feature in Brood War. Maybe it was. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. Tanks were pretty good. Goliath, yeah. Heavy fire support walker. It can shoot air and ground, which is fantastic. I haven't seen any of those yet. We're using that boost ability. Where is that thing? The overcharge from the orbital command to actually boost the build times from these units. It's like Chrono Boost for Terran. It's pretty cool that way. So here we come with a Marine tank push right on up. These Dragoons are in trouble. We're going to follow these guys across the map because they're the ones who are exciting to watch right now. These Dragoons say, that's a lot of Marines. That's a tank. We don't really feel like we're comfortable about this. Back in the Brood War days, a lot of this matchup was basically mech versus Dragoons. There were a lot of Spider Mines in there as well from the Vultures for Terran. And so, yeah, pretty crazy stuff. But here we come. Dragoons are not doing super well against this push here from our friend Moxie. Just kind of setting up on the outside. Is he taking an expansion back home? He is. So setting the barracks on the low ground. Getting an expansion command center as well for this attack. Very smart. Vulture is here. Are we going to burrow some spider mines? That is a good question. But here we come, pushing on up. The Marines coming up first. The tank in the back doing a lot of damage. It does actually do extra damage to medium, which is, are this what these guys are? I think these are considered medium armored. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't do that extra damage to the Dragoons like you would think. Do we have to upgrade the... Yeah, we do. Upgrading siege tech here as well. Ion thruster speed for the Vultures. Aeron booster for the attack range for the Goliath's missiles. So their ground to air attack gets a little bit extra. Throwing down some spider mines here. So annoying for these Dragoons. They do outrange the spider mines. At least I think they do. They should. Range 6. Spider mine range is... melee. Melee? Interesting. They used to kind of get up and scutter over and attack somebody within a certain range back in Brood War, but apparently they can attack unless you like sit right on top of them. So that's an interesting change for sure. Just get any kind of detection whatsoever. We are getting an observer. There it is, popping right on out, and he should be able to give these Dragoons the range, or the sight rather, they need to take down these spider mines. Not actually taking an expansion yet is Arthur. He might be afraid of something. I don't know what it is, but here we go, popping right on in. And again, I can't tell what the range is on these Spider-Mans because the Dragoons are not getting close enough to trigger anything. But again, it said melee. I have to assume it's melee. So crazy stuff. Again, the expansion is up a little bit faster for Moxie, so very smart from him. Nexus finally going down for Arthur, taking down more things. What was that they killed over there? I do not know. Spider-Man right there as well. Did it get a Vulture? Was that a Vulture trying to run around and be sneaky? I don't know. I guess it was. Vulture's not back here at the base. Oh no, here it is. Is that the same one? No idea. Regardless, pushing on up with these Dragoons, I don't know if this is a very good idea. You have to imagine there are still those Marines and tanks that scared you so much earlier are still going to be here at the main base. So here we have a missile turret to take down any observers that try to walk on in here without being very careful. The tanks as well. Going to do 52 damage versus medium. Good golly, 70 damage total. I think I might just do 70 damage to a Dragoon, to be honest, which is a lot of damage. Basically a 3-shot on a Dragoon there. SCV up here for a little more scouting opportunity at the same time. We have a Warp Prism drop coming in. Oh, with the Reaver. I love the Reaver. The Reaver popping around the back side, going to bypass the main, the natural entirely and go on into the main. Again, Warp Prism, super fun unit. Oh no! Take some huge hits from those tanks on the high ground. Was that a scan? I don't know what that was. Either way, Reaver's really, really good unit. It drops, it does this huge splash damage. There it goes. Doing a big time hit there. It shoots out Scarabs. And what those do is they run around. They're invincible little things that basically target something. Oof, tanks getting destroyed. Or rather, Dragoons going down. Trying to get on top of these tanks before they die. Doing a good job of it. Getting inside the minimum range of the siege tank. But no, the Warp Prism goes down to the missile turret. Oh no, that was huge. Arthur was counting on that Warp Prism to drop the Zealot, maybe to drop the Reaver to try to get some extra kills as well, but no, at this point it's just the Dragoons. They aren't going to be able to do anything against these tanks. More Reavers are being researched here. Or can we upgrade those Reavers? I have to imagine we can, probably with a Robo Facility or a Robo Bay, I have to imagine. Anyway, Reaver, yeah, siege unit produces a small Scarab. They're small, they do a distance, they do detonate for massive area damage. They can be upgraded with Plasma Charge. I'm not sure if that gives you additional Reavers. Here we go, building Scarab, or if it just makes the damage to them a little bit bigger. But, yep, Reavers cannot attack with Scarabs. It costs money to build these things. Costs 15 minerals. Maximum capacity is 5. I think there's an upgrade that gave you more back in Brood War. We'll have to see here. But here comes the tank push. It is a scary tank push. There's a single Reaver here, but it does not outrange these tanks. That is for sure. It relies upon the Warp Prism for most things. The tank's doing huge amounts of damage. Finally taking down a Vulture there. Got a little bit too close there. Put its hand too close to the fire and was destroyed. Observer coming in just to see exactly what the Protoss is dealing with and cannot be happy about this. This is a tank Viking or tank Vulture push. Now in range of the Nexus, raining down fire from a distance. And yeah, I just don't know what Arthur can do. He's in a really tough spot here. Losing that Warp Prism back to the natural was massive. Did tons of damage. Vulture's coming up as well, but no, the Scarabs chase it. You can outrange them though. If you run away from the Scarab and you're fast enough, you can force it to explode without hitting anything, which is exactly what happened with those Vultures, throwing down more Spider Mines, I think mostly for fun than anything else. The Nexus has fallen here at the natural. We're basically 1 base to 2 base. The Protoss player is on 1 base, very, very crippled at this point. Going to try to get the Scarab out there, or the Reaver drop with the Warp Prism to try to see what damage it can do, but it does get scouted by these reinforcing units. I don't know. Are we going to be ready for it is the question. There's really nothing here to deal with it. I think maybe dropping back here would be a good choice. No, don't go by the... No, there's a tank. Okay, so actually throwing down the Zealot. To actually kind of make the tank attack it first. And here comes the Reaver. Going to try to get off an attack, and it does manage to take down quite a few SCVs there. Doing a good job here with this Reaver and the Zealot actually taking down this natural, while at the same time, again, lost the natural back home, but there's really nothing here to defend against this in the main for a Terran player, Moxie. Moxie trying to throw tanks up here on the high ground. Here comes, oh, whoa! That Scarab went all the way up and around, doing tons of damage. That range is actually kind of crazy. Going to try to snipe down this siege tank and actually able to get it. The Zealot does get the kill. Vulture dies as well. Another tank dies. There it goes to a Scarab. Amazing, amazing plays here. Special tactics from our friend Arthur. Oh, Scarab, the Reaver stays alive. I keep wanting to call them Scarabs for some reason, but they are Reavers. This reminds me of the early days of StarCraft. This was a popular strategy. Getting a Warp Prism out, getting a Reaver, doing Warp Prism micro with Reavers was so dangerous. You could pretty much drop, attack, pick up, drop, attack, pick up. It was really frustrating for either race to deal with. Protoss or Terran. Didn't really see it against Zerg as much. I can't think what the reason is. Maybe it's just not cost effective to kill Zerglings with them, so you didn't see it a whole lot. But yeah, getting a couple more shots off here. The Warp Prism is still alive, being super annoying. The Zealot's dead though, but man, look at this. We are mined over here with the siege mines. Can't really take the expansion. Arthur is stuck Inside the main base, the natural has been planted again for Moxie and been reinforced. It has a lot of tanks here. Warp Prism comes up here, tries to swoop around the backside. There's really not much here except for a single missile turret. Here comes the drop, and the Reaver's going to get in and follow some of those workers. Getting a kill, I think. Not that many. Going to get another couple kills of SCVs, but the pull response time was pretty darn good there for Moxie, and we are coming down the right side, actually. Going to drop again. Going to try to kill another worker. Does manage to get it. The Reaver is very low on health, but really nothing can shoot up at this point. There aren't any Marines on the map. It's all vultures and siege tanks, which is kind of a weakness against this type of a build. Yeah, I mean, you can see this crazy Warp Prism harassment going on and on here, taking a couple damage, couple hits from a missile turret over here. Yes, it is, but it's just so much more fast than anything on the ground. You could drop it here, do an attack, pick up, drop again, run away. Very, very effective. It takes a lot of APM to do it, but it looks like Arthur is making a very, very good effort to make this happen. So well played by him. But again, I just don't think this is a good position at all. Moxie sitting here, sieged up at the front door, going to try to starve the Protoss player out, I think. I'm not even sure if he wants to go up that ramp. There's a lot of Dragoons there. Those vultures would die for sure, but maybe the tanks at the bottom here with the vultures running up to provide sight. I don't know what the answer is going to be. Observer here as well. 2 Warp Prisms going to come on in and try to what? Oh no, there's missile turrets. Both of the Warp Prisms are going to die here. Dropping the Reaver right in the middle, trying to kill what it can. Doing a good job of killing with tanks here and there. Running up as well with the Dragoons and the Zealots trying to break this front. All the tanks are actually dead. Did Arthur manage to break that? It looks like he did. Whoa, I thought he was dead in the water. But instead he did manage to break it. So many tanks have died for Moxie. 9 tanks and 13 vultures have gone down for our Terran player here. Vultures running in, basically dying for no reason. Tanks responding, reinforcing tanks, trying to come in and do what they can, but they decide actually to back up. There's a lot of Dragoons here. There's a lot of Zealots. The Zealots do really well against tanks in Starbow. They are very tanky. Haha, against the tanks. They do damage as well. Trying to come in, but that's it. Arthur calls the GG. Moxie is victorious. Pretty amazing little PvT there. Thanks again for sending that in, Ziphius. I really appreciate it. Starbow was really fun to cast. Just these smaller engagements that seem to be going on throughout the entire game. So again, thanks so much for watching. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Blizzard upload. If you like what you saw today, if you like what you heard, hit that like button, hit that subscribe to catch my daily casts. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.